everybody. Welcome back to the Two Ps of the podcast, our weekly, just gorgeous, juicy gossip girl time. We talk about life, the universe, and everything. I am one of your glamorous hosts, Katie, based here in the UK, and my other very gorgeous co-host is the ever fabulous.
Hi guys, I'm Jessica, based over here in the USA. How's everybody doing?
You just get a drum roll. I think it's important, right? We need one.
Can't do my own drum roll, but
well, that's all good. We have a juicy topic for you today. There we go.
Yes, I am so excited about this.
So excited. I can't even begin to say how excited this girl is. I'll say it.
We are going to talk about. Do you want to?
Well, it's a three-parter, right?
It's
a three-handed. The first one is our celebrity crushes. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. We've got pictures and everything so that you know who we're talking about. She's so happy. She's so happy. What we like in a guy. We're not going to kind of mention specifics here, but kind of what floats our boat, and then we're going to end on the ick because if you do the light, you've got to do the shade, right?
Yeah, and I think that this is going to be a nice, fun, juicy girl gushing session. So get your tea or your coffee or your snacks and join along, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously, as we said at the top of the show, I'm in the UK, Jess is in the States. So we not only have pictures for you guys, we also have pictures for each other because we're going to mention some names and it's going to be like, don't know who you're talking about. So we can show you, and we also need to say that Jess and I don't necessarily have the same taste in guys, and that's cool. So she, one of us may mention the name and show a picture, and we'll be like, okay, but it doesn't do it for us. But that's totally normal. If we all like the same guy, it would be a very complicated world, would it not?
Yes. Plus, I want to say that I have love affairs going on with multiple of these people in my mind. And so I don't really want anybody else to like my crush. So it's kind of like they're mine, basically. I also want to say that this was actually a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be. Because finding a hot guy is not a problem, right?
No.
There's tons of them in Hollywood. But finding one that I would consider that I'm crushing on is a little bit different. I also want to say that I have 2 active YouTube crushes going, but I'm not going to mention them because I just feel like it's a little too close to home with me working on YouTube.
Okay.
And they're both married, and it's just disrespectful. So I'm just going to keep those crushes to myself. But so this is
She'll tell me off camera later. But,
well, you know one of them. But this is just celebrity.
Yes, celebrities. And excuse me, some of them are single, some of them are not, but they're all hot. So we're happy, right? So I reckon we go through the back and forth thing because it seems to work quite well. And I am more than happy to go first, right? This guy has been my number one celebrity crush for 9 years. And you already know who I'm going to say, right?
I guarantee I know.
You already know who I'm going to say. So before I show you his picture, because I first saw this guy in the BBC adaptation of the drama show, The Night Manager. And no, it's not Hugh Laurie. And at the time, I was sitting with a guy I'm no longer with. And, it was quite an awkward situation. That's a very long story. And I'm like trying not to, my mouth hanging open because I was like, God damn, who is that? And now, of course, everyone knows who he is. But it is the ever fabulous, the gorgeous, Mr. Tom Hiddleston.
Yes, I know.
I know. Do you know what? He's so pretty. He's so pretty. And what's controversial about that for me, and I know some people are going to disagree, and again, that's fine. I don't actually particularly fancy him. I'm not crushing on him when he's playing Loki. I know. I know. People are like, really? Yeah, he doesn't. I don't know. It's because I don't really like long hair on them. That's probably why. But I like him in his short hair era. And The Night Manager, they're making the second one. You girls excited? Actually, I'm saying that there was a really good movie called Crimson Peak, which was kind of gothic horror romance thing, and he was cute in that too. But he can dance in real life, which is a huge win for me. We'll get onto that. And he's intelligent. Again, we'll get onto that. But he just seems like such a. And I know there was a time I think of oversaturation. When he potentially could have been the next James Bond, and then he was going out with Taylor Swift. And I think the people had an opinion of him around that time, which I think was unfair. I think if you're linked to Taylor Swift, there's going to be an opinion about you.
Yeah.
Right. And of course, I think he had Mr. Taylor Swift or I Heart TW t-shirt on the beach. And it was all a bit, it wasn't a great era for him, let's put it there. But I know that he's a dad. He's engaged to his partner. He's just living his best life, and he's so cute as hell.
Well, there you go. That's definitely her main boo thing. She loves this guy, and I actually, the only time I really find him to be appealing to me is actually when he plays Loki. Because I do enjoy a man with longer hair, as we're going to.
Yeah, I know.
But you know, hey, I also like that like whole psycho I'm broken vibe too for some reason. My own issues. But yeah, he is cute though. He is. And yeah, it's really unfortunate that people that are linked to Taylor Swift have a bad reputation because of that. It's actually kind of unfortunate for Taylor Swift too, because I feel like she has attracted a lot of F-boys. And, you know, just because she makes music and she writes about them, she's messy. But anyways, that's a whole nother topic. Let me introduce you to my main, and you know who this is because this is my baby daddy. This is the love of my life. Like, I'm just like, this is my perfect ideal person. Like, this guy, I have never, and I'm sorry for anybody who doesn't agree, but this is somebody who I have never seen anybody more attractive, more aesthetically attractive than the great Alexander Skarsgård. Okay, we know this man right here. He is just beautiful. And his personality is great. He's very smart. He's Swedish. He cares about the environment. He has really elevated views, which I really like. I've had a crush on him since True Blood. That was the first time that I saw him. And then, of course, after I saw him, I was like, oh, because he's like super tall and super blonde and like everything that I really, really like. Although I'm finding that I actually like brunettes more based off my other choices. He's like the only blonde. But that's okay. You know, but yeah, he's just aged like a fine wine. Like, and I like older men, but like the older that he gets, the hotter that he gets. And that's just so attractive to me. He did recently have a baby, so I'm not going to say that's unfortunate because that feels evil, but he was supposed to save himself for me. He didn't. But it's okay. Yeah, but that is my main, like Alexander Skarsgård. If I had to pick one person on this planet, if it was me and one other person, we're the only ones, and we have to procreate to save the world. And I don't even want to have another baby, but I'm willing to do it for the greater good. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I love it. Like, oh, Tristan. Oh, if I have to. Oh, okay. God.
Sure. It would be a chore, but I would do it for him. But yeah, that's my first one, and that's my main guy.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say obviously like, as we know, he's not mine, but I do recognize he's a good-looking guy, yes. Right? You do. I'm not looking at him being like, really? Like, I can see why you like him. He, you know, he's got that whole kind of Scandinavian brooding energy about him, which, you know, is nice. So, like, how happy she is. Look how happy she is.
He's like come out of my like Viking dreams. Like, you know what I mean? Like this, him showing up in like a loincloth with some kind of animal fur draped over him.
I think he would literally just die. I think you'd be gone. It was too much.
Ass out. Literally, I would think about like if I ever met one of like my celebrity crushes or any celebrity, like would I freak out in real life? I think he's the only one. Although I did freak out at the Genuine concert, girl, and I'm not even into Genuine like that.
She did. But I don't think that was a crush thing. I think it was just a nostalgic 90s thing going on. So yeah. But it's good. It's good. You know what? You're gonna kind of go like, oh, I've never watched an episode of True Blood.
It's not for everybody, you know? And, you know, I don't know if it's necessarily like your thing, you know, because you're kind of into like documentaries about cults and big pharmaceutical companies. Like, this is what she's always watching, y'all. It's like that kind of stuff. Like, it's always like, oh, I just watched this fascinating documentary about a cult. And I'm like, well, do you? Whatever makes you happy, boo. You know? You're not really into like the whole fantasy thing, although you do kind of like some fantasy stuff, but it's not like your first thing I think that you reach for. Me, I'm in the fantasy. I think that's my Venus in Cancer though, that really causes me to be like, romance, you know?
But like, girl, what are you doing calling me out like, man? Jeez Louise, man. I'm that Saturday night girl, and she's like, I hope you're getting something interesting. I'm like, yeah, I just watched a documentary about a cult. And she's like, cool.
Pretty much. Okay, in the spirit of keeping this going, because we have a lot to get through.
Yes, we do. Okay, number 2 on my list. Oh, okay. 2016, I believe. Britain's Got Talent. You guys have America's Got Talent, right? So we know that it's a talent show. These guys won that year. He is the founder and the leader of the dance group. If you know, you know. All my UK guys would be like, oh yes. And the group is called Diversity. And this man is Ashley Banjo, and he is fine, right? Like, look at him. He's so pretty, 6'4" as well. Can I tell you? He's fine, and the man can dance. And I'm realizing now, because it's true now that can dance. This is obviously a thing for me, right? Like I like a man that knows how to move.
Yes, and one that you can climb, like a tree,
like a mountain, for sure, right? It's funny because, and this is like a thing, but my mum, when I was chatting to her about it, and she was like, although he's not on the list, Idris Elba as well, fine man. And she goes, oh, I didn't know that you like guys like that. Make of that what you will. And I was like, but yeah, he's gorgeous. Like, how could you not, right? I mean, I don't know. It's a thing in there, I know, which is a whole side. I don't want to bring the mood down, but this man is fine. And he's only getting better as he gets older. He was cute back in the day. Now, like, he comes on TV and I'm just like...
Having known you for as long as I do, I know that you like him dark and handsome. That is your thing. I've known that for a while because we have that contrast thing where I like him light and handsome. You like him dark and handsome. And so I'm not surprised at all to see him. And he is, again, like you said about Alexander, he is conventionally cute. Like there's nothing, he's cute. You can't argue with it,
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what I mean? You go out here, she is classic, tall, dark and handsome. What can I say? If it ain't broke, why fix it, right?
Exactly. And these are our crushes and we're allowed to like whatever we want.
Yes, exactly. All right.
Okay.
Pass it up.
So the next one in line, ew, I like. I'm sorry, y'all. This was like the best assignment ever for me last night. I was blushing. I was gushing. I was like, we need to do this like at least once a month on our podcast. Just hot guys. Let's just talk about hot guys. Hot guys of the month. Okay, so I don't know how you're going to feel about this one, but this is what I like. Okay, I'm going to unplug my charger.
I'll be bracing myself.
James McAvoy.
Okay.
I really like, and there's a thing about him where, and let me show people so they can see a little bit more. Oh my God, I almost threw my computer. I've liked him at all stages of his life. Like when he was younger, when he's older, I just like him. And I picked this picture in particular because I like the gray. I like the gray in the beard. I really like an older guy, as you know. And I think the movie that I really enjoyed him in was the movie Split, where he played the one with the split personality, just because I got to see the depth of his acting skills.
Okay.
And I think he was also in that movie Frankenstein or whatever. He's been in a couple of things, but I don't know. There's something about him. I just really like him. And it's not even necessarily like a personality thing like we're going to see with some of these ones moving forward. For him, it's like aesthetics. It's purely like, when I look at him.
Is it the Scottish thing? Are you liking the Scottish accent?
I like foreigners. You know what I mean? Like the first one was Swedish. This one's Scottish. I think I have a couple more on the list that are probably foreign, but it's just, I don't know. It probably is a Scottish thing because you know what? I kind of sometimes find myself crushing on, what is that? Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Especially especially when he yells and he says fuck a lot. I'm like, there's something about that. Like, I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's probably really good in bed. I'm going to be honest with you. He has that air. Like he would be very, very good in bed. And that's important to me.
Everything you've said so far, I think that's to say more than anything else is that you have a thing about Gordon Ramsay.
He's not on my list because I don't actively crush on him, but I would smash. I wouldn't pass.
I would pass, but you can smash.
That's good. I don't want you to. Like, this is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want us to both be like, oh my God, I'm the same person. Unless, of course, they're just super hot. And it's unavoidable,
Fair. Okay. I get that.
I'm a possessive lover.
There's a movie that he's in based on a book, Atonement. And you might, if you're not watched that, you might want to check it out because he's got soldier's uniform on that. And he is looking pretty fine in that movie. My God, I'll be like, what's that movie called?
I'll definitely look into it for sure. But yeah, that's my second one. He's gorgeous to me anyway.
Fine. Fair. Okay. Well, in the spirit of moving things along, number three is a British actor. He's a comedy actor originally, and then went into drama, and now does. It's a show where him and his friends go and do like really stupid things, and they have a podcast together. And this is the one that people are going to be like, really? But you know, like everyone's got a crush that other people are going to be like, would call the weird crush.
Yeah.
But he has definitely, for me, gotten better as he's gotten older. And in the last couple of years, that I've suddenly like, I feel like I've woken up on him because I'm not literally, sadly, but I feel like I've seen him in a new way, and now I can't not see it. Okay.
Yeah.
So the actor's name is Ralph Little, and he is cute as hell.
He's attractive.
Sure. Yeah, he's cute. And he does it's funny, this is called Two Peas in the podcast. They do Two Pints podcast because they used to be a show together called Two Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps was their comedy show. He's just cute. And what's really got with me is that he's very intelligent, which also seems to be a thing. Yeah. You know, this is a guy who can talk about politics and philosophy and, you know, is not afraid to show his intelligence. And, you know, it's obviously a thing. But yeah, I don't know. There is a thing. I know we talked about this on a previous episode with women and getting older and beauty standards. But there are some men where you just think being older suits you.
Yeah.
You know, not all of them. Some of them you're like, no, you definitely look better when you were younger. But some guys, they just seem to be like a fine wine. They just seem to age really well.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. A lot of the men that are on my list, I've actually found that as they've gotten older, that's how they've become more attractive to me. And again, I mean, I do, as we know, I do like older men, but there is something about that. And actually one of my internet crushes, one of my YouTube crushes, he was not attractive when he was younger. I would have passed.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh my God, what happened to you? Like, you know, like it's like almost like the ugly duckling syndrome. Mm-hmm. Like they grow into a beautiful swan.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know.
The other thing that I've noticed is that I never used to be a huge fan of facial hair when I was younger. And I find that as I'm getting older, I don't know, I'm a bit more open to the idea now than I used to be.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe like as you grow yourself, you are naturally biologically more attracted to the traits that show you that they're your age.
Yeah, I spoke to my mum about that. And, you know, when you're younger, you tend to be more drawn to pretty boys, more feminine looking boys, because they're not seen being as like manly. They're less threatening from that perspective, from a younger girl's perspective. A pretty boy is like, it feels safer than a hairy man.
And see, that to me is like, I feel the opposite. Like, I feel like a man that has like a lot of facial hair, there's something very like fatherly and protective about that. And maybe that's my own daddy issues with not having that feeling in my life or something. I don't know. But for me, somebody who's like young and like fully shaven and all this, it makes me feel like they're like a smooth talker for some reason. I don't know why, but that's just what I get. But I have noticed, like, as I was looking through men last night, I was like, I'm actually really attracted to them with like both the same person, but versus like shaved versus beard. I actually enjoy the beard more, which I've heard from men who have beards that it's actually uncomfortable to have a beard. So they're doing a sacrifice for the greater good when it comes to that, because I think it's actually uncomfortable. My next person is somebody who is controversial, and you will know who this is. As soon as you see him, you'll be like, yep. Because not everybody has a crush on this guy. Yeah. This one for me is aesthetics, but it's also his personality shines through. The great Jim Carrey. I picked this picture on purpose because that is like, his personality is what pulls me in. I love his how funny he is and how animated he is. I love that he does different voices. I love that he can play characters. I love that he has a depth of range to him. And I also love that he's actually quite a deep thinker too. Yeah. He's very spiritual. He's very deep. I love that he went through his whole, like, what are we here for moment, and was like totally standing out from Hollywood, like, you know, and didn't care to fit in and stuff. Like, he is just so attractive to me. Like, I really do crush on that man hard, like in everything that he's done.
I know, I know, I know. He's like your all-time favorite actor, and I know that you will go back to his movies and stuff. And I get it. I think what's coming through here is, you know, like I say, that thing of like somebody who can make you laugh, somebody who it's not even about sharing similar interests. I mean, that can help, but genuinely, it's like a synchronization of personality.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
to have somebody who looks like they'll go out of their way to make things better and to make you smile is never a bad thing.
I think that me and him would actually get along in real life too, because we're both comedic, and so we understand that that's not like a 24-hour thing. Like
Isn't
we
he a
understand.
Gemini as well? Did I read that?
I have no idea if he's a Gemini, but I think I'm gonna have to look that up now. But I think that we would get along because we know when it's appropriate to turn on the comedy and when it's not. And also, hold on.
She's so looking at Jim Carrey's birthday now. I swear.
Yeah, I have to now because I'm curious. Capricorn.
Ah, okay, that's interesting.
But the thing about him is that he's, like most comedians, true to heart. We've gone through a lot. Like, and there's a sadness behind that funny exterior, and that's what I see in him.
Yeah,
I see like the layers of him. And, he has a very interesting story, like he's from Canada. So again, another foreigner. He was broke. He was homeless at one point. He has a very compelling story. He was rejected in Hollywood. Like there's just, I don't know. I would say personality wise, out of every single crush, he's the one that I would consider like, I could see myself with him if it was possible in this universe. You know what I mean? Like if it was possible, I could see myself actually being in a relationship with him versus the other ones. They're cute. And
yeah,
I would make it work with Alexander Skarsgård. I don't care if we have nothing in common. I would fake it for that man. Okay. Like, but Jim, I feel like I would have a real connection with.
There's a British, and I'm sure you have a version of it over there, but it's here, it would be snog, marry, kill. So a snog is like a big passionate kiss for Americans that don't know. And I think that, yeah, you and Jim could definitely do the whole marries, babies, white picket fence thing, because, yeah, whereas some of them, it's just, like you say, it's just a smash and, that's enough. It's not, not every guy that not you, I think every guy we like is necessarily like, I can imagine my life with him. Sometimes it is a physical thing, and nothing wrong with that either.
True, and that's not necessarily where I'm at in my life. Like, I'm not looking for just a physical thing. I could definitely find a friends with benefits if I wanted to. I am looking for something deeper, but I do recognize that not everybody that you meet, or even not everybody that you have a connection with, is going to be long term. So yeah, exactly. It is what it is.
Exactly. So that's a really nice segue, because actually crush number 4 for me is not necessarily a guy that I don't even know that much about him personality-wise. That's the thing. From what I've seen on TV, he comes across well. Comes across being quite chatty and friendly, but like I don't necessarily, sounds awful. I'm not necessarily like, oh my God, I can imagine like being with him, but he is fine as hell, okay? In my opinion. And he was on X Factor, which, is the British music reality talent TV show that used to be on. It's not on anymore. And he didn't win, but he was definitely on it. And his name is Jake Quickenden.
Oh, yeah. He's hot.
He's also played football or soccer if you're American. And he has got that look about him. You can tell, right? He's got that. Sorry, it's a police car going past. He's got that sporty kind of the vibe about him. And then he's segued into music. So, and he's done like TV presenting now and stuff. But I just look at him and I'm like, yeah. To the point that even the kids will go to me like, Mom, stop staring at him. Like my son's got his hand over my eyes. And I'm going, I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
It's so odd to me when kids are like that, because my son is the same way. Like my son has flat out told me I'm not allowed to have a boyfriend. I'm like, well, Daddy has a girlfriend. And he's like, you're not allowed to have a boyfriend, right? He's like, we're not talking about him. We're talking about you, and you're not allowed. So I don't know, children, right? They can be possessive, but no, he's cute, and I like the tattoos.
Yeah. There's something about that, So a dark-haired guy with a slight beard and tats, that seems to be kind of where I'm going at the moment.
Nothing wrong with that, sister.
No.
Hey. Just saying. Number
4 for you.
Okay, yeah, because I have one more than Katie because I'm apparently boy crazy. So this one is going to be one that a lot of people are going to be like, "What about too?" This is the great Jason Scott Lee.
Okay.
Um,
Cool.
yeah, he is. I picked this picture because particularly in the Dragon, the Bruce Lee story was where I really fell for this dude. Like I love his acting. I love his facial expressions. I love just his. He's just hot. He's hot. And without sounding too perverted, I'm sorry guys if this is too much, but I love his dark nipples. I'm sorry. I got to see him a lot in that movie. Okay. I'm just gonna say it, you know. But but no, he's another one where he is a deep thinker. He is very like level-headed. He's very calm. He has a very gentle energy about him that I really do like. But it's aesthetic for me. Like he's hot. He's
It's
a nice
funny
body.
because I don't really know anything about him apart from the fact that obviously who his dad is and obviously who his brother was. Because, of course, his brother was Brendan Lee, who was in The Crow, who passed the same age as his dad. So that family is just.
He's not related to the Lees. He played him. He played him in the
Take it back.
Whatever when he was playing Bruce Lee's life. He played him, but he just happens to have the same last name. But yeah, no, he's a very attractive man. Very attractive man to me. And somebody that like I'll go back to that movie and watch just specifically just to see him because he's just so attractive.
You haven't picked any Americans, which I find really interesting.
I think there's one that's coming. Well, I don't know with my next two, but I think I don't know because I know one is British.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about the next one. Do you want me to do another one since I have?
You might as well, because you might as well.
Okay, and this is the one that I'm not sure if he's American or not. I'm sure his roots come from somewhere else, but yeah. So this man. So before I get to him, I like odd people. Okay, in case we haven't noticed already, I like people who look different, who are different. I like odd features that stand out, like protruding bones and longer limbs than they're supposed to be. I don't know why I'm into that, but I've just always liked people who don't look conventionally attractive, although people would probably disagree with my list here. So when I say Adrian Brody.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And are we sensing a theme here with the dark hair, the beard? It's, I don't know what it is about that, but that's obviously my type. I used to think, again, like blondes, specifically Germans, were my type, but apparently not. He had his nose. When he turns to the side, he has a schnoz on him that goes for days, y'all. Okay, I don't know what it is about him. I don't know what it is about that nose, bro. I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it. First time I really became truly acquainted with him was one of my favorite movies, The Pianist. I love that movie. As we know, I'm really into the whole World War II Holocaust era. It's like one of my fascinations. And so if you haven't seen that movie, if you're watching The Pianist, it is an amazing movie. It's a slower movie. It's a sad movie, but it's a good movie. And yeah, after that, like very much like Alexander Skarsgård, I started looking at his other work and finding his other movies that he had been in and stuff like that. But no, he is just super attractive.
What we can, she loves a guy with a really long nose.
Y'all stop her right now.
Sorry. I couldn't help it. The joke was there. Yeah.
For me, it's not necessarily about the length. It's more about the girth.
It's more about how they blow their nose.
Like I'm just gonna put it out there since we're talking about this. I would rather have something a little wider than something a little longer, but that's just me.
Sorry, you obviously missed that joke. I was being very rude. I'm sorry. I shall move on.
What? Get the blow?
Yeah, so it's all about how he blows his nose.
Get on your knees, butt naked, please.
Oh, we need to calm down, girl. Honestly. I'm too perimenopausal to be having this conversation. It's like...
I know, I've been like, I'm hot. And it was cold in my house earlier.
Okay. Last one before I spontaneously combust. This picture of this man. what's interesting about this guy is that I know he had a very difficult beginning. He had addiction issues, and then he cut clean. And I'm not always attracted to him aesthetically, but I like his vibe as a person. But this picture, I had to share this because it is a fantastic, phenomenal Tom Hardy.
I don't know if I know who that is.
You don't know who Tom Hardy is?
Maybe I would if I saw a clearer picture of his face. What has he been in?
He played Bane in the Batman movies. He's played.
Oh, Bane.
I don't like him as Bane, but yeah, when he was in Peaky Blinders and he had a cameo in that. He's been in. He played. Oh, what's his name? I'm too honest to God, my brain. I got to find this out now. Bear with, but essentially, he's cute. He's cute as all hell.
And has tattoos, I might add.
Yes, which again is the thing. People say to me, "Have you got any tattoos?" And I go, "Yes, I've got two. I have one on my hip and one on my back." And tattoos not necessarily, it's not a requirement or anything, but hey, your girl has that thing, right? They're cute.
Yeah,
I like them.
Yeah, I don't mind tattoos on a guy or without. It doesn't matter to me.
Okay, so we're gonna go into here. I'm in Wikipedia. Don't shoot me. I know it's a thing, right? So everyone's like,
he was born in the darkness.
Well, yeah.
He did do a good job as Bane, though. It's funny considering my last one.
Okay, so he was in Band of Brothers, Black Hawk Down. He was in, what else we got? Kate's reading very quickly. He played Charles Bronson. That was it. There was a movie about Charles Bronson's life. He played him. He can really kind of buff himself up, He's cute.
Yeah, he is. He's cute. Yeah. I didn't know immediately who he was, but that's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. There are my celebrity crushes. Make of them what you will, right?
Yep. And this is my last one, so we can move on from this and start talking about the other stuff. And this is so funny because our last crushes are arch enemies.
Ooh.
Yes, because I like Batman, right? Mm-hmm. Christian Bale. And I know that you're not necessarily a huge fan of him. He is British. And again, are we sensing a theme? I'm finding I'm into brunettes with the little bit of the beard, the longer hair. I don't know. It's something attractive to me. Yeah, he is somebody that, first of all, I really like his range of acting because he's done a lot of different movies. I like how he really immerses himself in the role. I think there was one role that he did where he was like super thin and like just, yeah. Then
was it called? Is that one?
I think it was, yeah. But he had to go on like a very strict diet for that, and I just like how committed he is. Yeah. He also has a little bit of an asshole vibe.
Yeah, there wasn't that thing where there was like one of the runners on set was making noise and he proper cussed them out.
Which I get, bro. I'm in the moment. Like, you need to chill over there with your weird breathing. Like, I don't know. I think that's a kindred type of energy. I'm a little bit of an asshole. I can't help that. You know that. So it's like, I don't want somebody who's like, goes out of their way to like cuss out the waitress or something like that. But hey, this is art that we're working on right now. This is a movie, right? And that's just, again, with Gordon Ramsay yelling at people, there's something about that that gets me going. I don't know why, but he does have that little bit of asshole vibe. That's why I don't think that in the long run, I don't know how we would do. Because there's only room for one asshole in the relationship.
You can't, when two assholes come together, it's not a healthy connection.
Calm me down and be like, Jess, it's not that serious, hon. I don't want somebody that magnifies and eggs me on, So I actually genuinely do like sweet men, gentlemen, nice men, but he does have that vibe to him that I'm just like, yeah, I'd what's a nice way to say this? I'd make love. I wouldn't make love to my them, but it's okay. There's a difference. But yes, he's hot. Definitely.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Well, look, what I've come to see with our crushes is it's funny you say that, you like a sweet guy. I think you like a sweet guy who's got a little bit of fire underneath. That's what I see. He can't be like a wet blanket who's like a mama's boy or doesn't say boo to a goose. He's got to have something about him that he can stand up when he needs to stand up.
I think I like a person that has like a story too.
Yeah.
Like they've been through stuff, because I can relate to that. You
Yeah.
know, somebody who's just super entitled and spoiled and has never experienced like the hardships of life. Like I can't relate.
No, I get
Yeah.
that. I get that. I also really like somebody who's really passionate about something and
Yes.
ambitious in that space. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to be the same thing that I am. Like I'm not here to find a carbon copy of me, but it's somebody who is like really committed to something and ambitious about pushing it forward. That is attractive to me. I don't
Yeah.
want somebody who's just like, I don't know, doesn't have any, again, it's this fire in their belly for something, right?
Yeah. I agree with that. And I like somebody who, and we've actually talked about this. I think we talked about this on one of our first podcasts. I like people who have like hobbies, like specific hobbies that they're into, and they know everything about that hobby. I really enjoy that because I am a sapiosexual, just like you. I am attracted to intelligence and the mind. I just don't like workaholics.
Yeah.
That's my thing, because it's like, we're not here to just work, you know, and I know that I can be a workaholic. I know you can be a workaholic. But somebody who just can't make time for life, can't make time for love, a relationship, their family, I'm not attracted to that.
But the same thing goes for guys who are always at the gym working out. Because I think that it's all about balance, right? It's that fine line is that, yes, be committed and be passionate about something, but your life can't revolve around that one thing. You know, there has to be time for other things as well. And it doesn't matter how buff a guy is. I think it comes at a tipping point in a woman's mind where you're so buff, that means that 24/7 you're working out and you don't have time for a relationship.
Oh yeah, and the thing about too, like people who are extremely physically fit and like buff, that takes a lot of dedication. It takes a lot of time. And it's not just in the gym, it's your eating habits too. They cannot eat certain things. They have very strict diets. Actually, one of my YouTube crushes is a fitness person. So I know from watching him, it consumes your life, you know? And so it's kind of one of those things where it's like, just an average, normal, everyday guy is perfectly fine for me. Yeah. I can find the spectacular in what other people would find mundane. Like if we were to have a conversation and we're talking about your childhood and things you've been through, I can find that spectacular. I don't need you to go above and beyond and be like amazing or whatever. Yeah. I also really like affection and I like attention.
Yeah.
And I know that that's not everybody's bag. Like some people want people who are like a little bit distant or whatever. That is not me. Yeah. I'm Victorian romance, Dracula up in the castle, Morticia Gomez Adams type of love. I'm like, I want us to write poems to each other. I want us to sing to each other. I want us to be healthily obsessed with each other. That's just me. That's not everybody. Obviously, clearly. Which if we want to talk about the icks, avoidance.
No, avoidance for you is like number one red flag.
What the fuck it is about me. I have like a fucking flashing sign that says avoidance, come here, avoidance, come bother her. And I don't even go looking for them. They find me. They fucking find me, Katie. Okay? And of course, with avoidance, this is the thing. For anybody who is an avoidant out there watching, or is possibly somebody who attracts avoidance. Avoidants do not come off as avoidant, first and foremost. They come off as very into the connection, just like you. Open, receptive, has all this love to give. Avoidance will be triggered at a certain point, and that's when their avoidancy comes to play. Yeah. And again, I want to say this for any avoidant that might be watching. You are not going to find the one that is not going to trigger you. That's not a thing. Everybody at some point will trigger you. Absolutely. You need therapy. Okay? That is what you need. And you need to tell your therapist that you are avoidant so they can start working on unpacking that for you, because it goes deeper than just the person in front of you. It's about your not wanting to be intimate, not wanting to be close because it scares you. Yeah. Because you're scared of being hurt. It's a defense mechanism. That's what avoidancy is. And I'm fine with that. Avoidance should be with avoidance and attachers should be with attachers, and that's fine. But the thing is like, I seem to be a magnet for them. And it's just, as soon as I find out, I'm instantly like, nope, I don't want to do this.
Yeah. And I get it completely. I get it. You know, I wouldn't have said that until I really kind of started chatting with you about this stuff and recognizing my own, I hadn't really thought about it, you know, because I don't think, unless you're presented with it in a really clear way, I think that people don't really think about it, you know, and I think it's really interesting to think about your attachment style and your relationship style, and to think about how not only what you attract, but how you show up in a relationship, I think is really especially if it's like you say you're having these like these connections that are not healthy or not happy, and there's a pattern here. Well, at some point you have to say, okay, what's my pattern? What keeps showing up for me? Because there's something in that that needs healing and needs facing, right?
Yeah.
So
And I do think, and I agree, because I do think that I am more of I mean, I have an anxious personality disorder, so I am naturally more anxious. And so it makes sense that my love language would be anxious. I have abandonment issues. I have rejection issues. So I want somebody who is going to make me feel like they're not going to abandon me, that I'm
yeah,
safe with this person.
yeah,
And I have learned that you can't truly rely on other people to give you that. Like, you do have to find that strength and that security within yourself. My problem is that when people present themselves a certain way, and then they start to fade off or change, or the
yeah,
consistency changes. Because I am who I am. Like, from day one, I am who I am. Like, it's not an act. It's not something that's going to fade off. It's not something that's going to change. Like, this is me. And so I'm having a hard time finding that.
yeah,
I'm finding people that wear this mask, and then once they see that my mask is not going to drop, it's like, okay, well, I can't keep this up. I got
yeah,
to reveal myself. And it's unfortunate.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
not going to sit here and say that like anybody, like everybody else was the problem. I definitely need to take accountability. And there's been things in my past that I've contributed to the situations in not great ways. I'm aware of that. However, it does seem like I'm a magnet for unavailable people. And that's just a ick because of that.
yeah,
One of my clients, it's funny because I did a love reading for her, which was relatively positive, but she was having a hard time because, and what she said hit me so deeply that I was just like, wow. It's like when you hear something and you're not really expecting to hear it and you're like, oh, wow. She said, I feel sometimes like I'm meant to love but not be loved. And I was like, that, not to be like dramatic, but it does kind of sum me up a little bit, because I have so much love to give and I just want it back so badly, you know? And I keep finding people that want to reinforce that you need to love yourself. You don't need to have love from anybody else. And it's like, I don't know. There's something there with that, which is why I think I'm honestly better off single sometimes, even though I do want a relationship.
yeah. It's complicated, isn't it? You know, you and I have both been single for a long time, and the thing about this, you know, when you kind of said that we would talk about icks as well, is that yes, I want somebody who, you know, is not distant and has me as an afterthought, but neither do I want somebody who I feel like I'm their mother.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been in relationships like that where and I used to joke and say that I felt like I had 4 children at one point, and but that's as much on me as it is on the guy, is because it's like I recognize my nurturing, I recognize my people pleasing, I recognize my big heart and wanting to make people happy and look after them. But if you're not aware of yourself, you can end up with somebody who will fully take advantage of that, consciously or subconsciously. They're not deliberately taking advantage of you. It's just you're there as the nurturer, the overgiver, and they'll let you.
Yeah. Well, we're all mirrors to each other too.
Sure, of course. But of course, what can happen with that is eventually, and it may not happen, you know, immediately, is that resentment will build because you'll go, what about me?
Yes.
And that's what happens with me. So to have somebody who, yes, is happy for me to, care for them and show my love in an expressive way, but also is quite independent and doesn't want me to do everything for them at the same time. I think that there is, I mean, such a Libra, right? Like literally, for those,
Yeah.
it's my birthday next week. I'm such a Libra. That balance of the two is really important.
I think that it comes down to being okay with having needs too.
Yeah.
Which is something that I talked about in therapy a couple times, was like, are my needs too much? And one thing that I was told in therapy is that there's really no such thing as having a need that's too much. It's just about being able to find that balance with a partner that's willing to give that to you. So like, for example, I've had people who I'll text them and I don't hear from them for days. And it's like, in this society, we are on our phones.
Yeah.
We just are.
Yeah.
You know, and so you saw the text, you saw it come through. You made that decision to place me to the side and go, I will message you when I have time or whatever. To me, that translated as I'm not a priority.
Yeah.
And so I brought that up to my therapist. I brought something similar like that up to my therapist and was like, was I asking too much? Was I asking too much? And they're like, were you asking too much to be talked to? That's the people pleasing. Like, I just want to be nice and manageable and invisible and what you need me to be so you feel safe and comfortable without actually thinking about what I need in the connection. Which is something that I find with guys is like, and I'm sure you found it too, it's all about, are they available, their schedule, are they, you know, them, what's good for them. And it's not very much consideration of like, how is it making me feel though?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So I have a funny ick and a not so funny ick. So I want to end on the funny one because I want to give you the not so funny one, but it is a really important one for me. Again, I don't mind if we have different interests, okay, because that's life and we're both different human beings. It's whether your values connect, right?
Yeah.
And I am I am what certain people in today's society would be called a woke liberal. I am, and I hold my head up high in that space, and I'm proud to be one. But that means is that if you're coming at me with political views that don't align with me, or racism, or sexism, or homophobia, or transphobia, or xenophobia, we're not going to, it doesn't matter how hot you are. It doesn't matter how much you say that you try and romance me and sweep me off my feet. It's not going to work. And core values, I think, are so important and yet so overlooked by so many people.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think that it's like, for me personally, like if somebody is, you know, okay with people around them being racist, being sexist, being homophobic, there's something inside of them that probably is that too.
Mm-hmm.
Or they're just so terrified, which is one of my icks, is being so having to fit in that you're not willing to stand up for what's right. I can't stand that. Like, have a backbone, you know? Because I'm totally that person that'll be like, excuse me, racist fuck. Oh, okay, like we're not gonna do that here. Like, I'm definitely that type of person. So, but yeah, I feel like for you, you are your values, like in a sense, like people, not just you, but people in general. Like, we are our values.
Yeah,
we are our convictions and our morals. Somebody who has political views that are kind of sexist or misogynistic or, you know, racist or whatever, it's like, how much do they respect you as a person? And are you guys going to be able to? Because I know, for example, you go to Pride every year.
Yeah.
You know, and you take your kids to Pride every year. And having somebody in your life that is going to not only be okay with that, but be willing to join you and be okay in their masculinity and their sexuality enough to be around a whole bunch of people that are open, that's important to you.
Yeah, absolutely. At the very least, not to kind of judge me or make fun of me because I want to go.
Yeah.
You know, I know it's kind of like, oh, well, why would people do that? But there are people out there that do that. So
listen, I grew up in a household. I'm not trying to call it my family, although I feel like I do every freaking podcast. It's so weird. I'm always saying like, I'm not trying to call it my family, but I grew up in a household where there was constant bickering and like constant like, oh God, you're into that. Oh God, you're this. Oh God. It's like where it's like almost like, do you guys even like each other? Because like, who cares if she likes to paint or she likes to do this? You should be encouraging. Like, that's the kind of relationship I want to be in, is where somebody encourages me, not like constantly makes fun of me or picks on me or nags at me because I'm who I am. Like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like people who are single and who have been single for a while, we have standards. And I'm not saying that people who are in relationships don't have standards and are settling, because I want to be a part of that crowd one day. Like, I want to be somebody in a relationship. So I'm not going to sit here and say that one day I'm going to settle. But I do feel like sometimes people stay in connections that they're not happy with because they have a codependency about being alone.
100%. 100%.
I'm okay with being alone. Do I want to be alone for the rest of my life? No, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't, though. It's a scary place to be. So, yeah, I do think people put up with stuff where, you know, if they had their time again, they may make different decisions. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But my second ick, which is not so serious, but it's important. I don't do, if you've got skid marks in your underwear, if you've got your finger consistently up your nose or in your pants, or you're like, I don't do it grosses me out. If you kind of look, we're all fascinated with our own body, right? It's like it's a play center, and there's things that people pick and twiddle and, you know, whatever. But there are limits when it comes to hygiene and cleanliness. If you're constantly rooting around and it's disgusting.
Like a guy that like does that and then like rolls into the ball and flicks it
Oh
across.
no!
Right? Hit you in the head.
You
Like
know
that's
how bad
romance
I am with
people.
anything gross. I am. I can't. It's the ick for me. You've told me things on messages before, and I'm like, ugh, but I can't. I am so. I can't do ick in that sense. I'm really. I've got a funny tummy with stuff like that. It's gross.
Like, okay, and yes, we, for those who are new, which it would be okay, welcome.
Hi.
But but me and her have been best friends for a long time. And so we have told each other things about our bodies and things that are happening because this is just what it is, right? And I find that I'm definitely able to handle that a lot better than her. Like, I'm just like, Katie, you've had 3 children. Okay. Like, why can't you listen to this right now? But it's just, yeah, that I can see that being one of your things. I mean, I don't necessarily want somebody that has their finger up their nose constantly either, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like hygiene is like a thing. Like as soon as you mention like skid marks in the underwear, I'm just like, I don't know how I would handle that situation. I don't.
Yeah. I think it says more about me and my dating history. Let's put it that way.
Like some PTSD there or something because I'm trying to think back
And
to
then,
like a time that because I've done a couple of my boyfriend's laundry before and I don't think I've ever found that. So I'm just like, sorry, Katie. I feel like you're off on an island by yourself here.
all right, I'll be on my island of ick. You'll find me there. I'm there all week, guys. Come along. It's great.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm trying to think of like any more of my icks. There's not really much because I'm not very picky. I just like consistency. I like somebody that shows up. I like somebody that has a backbone and knows who they are. Um,
I suppose now, because of everything, if you met a really hot guy and he was a heavy smoker and a heavy drinker, that would probably be an ick for you.
Yeah, I think actually, yeah, that would. You're right. I don't really want somebody who drinks because I'm not a drinker. I mean, maybe every once in a while a glass of wine, but like for real though, because I've met people who are like, oh yeah, I just drink every once in a while, and they're like flaming alcoholics.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just again, and that goes with that whole like deception. Just be who you are and let
Yeah.
me decide if I want to be with you or not. I also think that somebody who sleeps around is an ick for me because I'm very selective, as we've seen. Like, and so I don't like somebody that gives it to everybody. To me, that's not a sign that you're even that great in bed. Like, I feel like somebody who gives it around to everybody is probably one of those like jackrabbit, like, you know what I mean? And you're probably not as good as you think you are. And damn sure don't sleep with me because I'm not going to fake it for you.
No, absolutely. It's a wham bam, thank you, ma'am, right? In and out, and then knocked on the bedpost kind of thing.
Yeah, and I'm not that. I am like, let's take our time. I am sensual. I am like every inch of your body I want to explore type of lover. I'm a little bit of a freak in the bedroom. I'm open. I'm not like a vanilla like.
Well, there's the tea of the season. Right?
Like I am. I'm just that's a. And that's okay if you don't know everything. I kind of like a newbie. Like I'm willing to teach you. So
you can see people watching this being like, okay, Jess is a freak in the bedroom. That's a good kind of juicy thing for the episode.
Telltale signs though if they paid attention. Like I don't know, people because I feel like when people feel like because you're celibate or you've been single for a while, it's because you have no choice. Like no man will dare lay in your bed, right? That's why you're single. You bear the scarlet letter, right? And it's like
why was that in a British accent?
I don't know.
No man will touch you on the moors across the hills.
Shame, lower your veil, right? Like,
no, were we like Jane Eyre? Were we Wuthering Heights? Heathcliff on the moor, darling.
I just feel like people do wonder though about. I wonder that because have you ever met somebody and you're like, wow, you are attractive, you're funny, you have your shit together. Yep. Why are you single?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then you have to kind of check yourself and be like, okay, well, I'm funny and attractive and I have my shit together and I'm single. So clearly if somebody was like, Jessica, it's because you're crazy as fuck, I wouldn't necessarily disagree. But I also feel like there's varying degrees of crazy.
Sure. Absolutely. I totally agree with you. Yeah, if you see a guy who's like really, really hot, and like I say, he's done his work and he's funny and he's clever and all of this, and you're like, but you're single? Really? Like, how? And yet girl, we're over here with our fine selves, right? Hello. Don't give if you can't take it, right?
I feel like those men are usually, I find out why they're single. It's because they're avoidance. Okay, it's because they have commitment issues. And then those men find out why I'm single because I'm like the last puppy at the puppy store that's like,
I think we can clarify that when Jess says this is an ick, that is like underlined 3 times in red. Like this is an ick, okay?
I guess literally it is the ultimate deal breaker for me. I have had to walk away from people that I really liked. Like I was like very connected to them, like on a spiritual level, but the avoidancy I just can't do because I know myself.
Yeah.
And I don't need any more reasons in life to question my sense of self-worth. I already do that. I need somebody that makes me feel safe in a connection.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. So look, I don't know what takeaway is for this episode, but it was fun, right? And nothing else. We got to look at some hot guys and we got to have a giggle or two. So hey, it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I mean, I cried literally. I have tears going down my cheeks, so that's always a good sign. And it was just a girl gushy sesh, which I think we could use more of in this podcast because I feel like sometimes we are not a wet blanket, but it's like we're smart women and we care about shit going on in the world, and so it's like I don't know. Sometimes we could do to just like lighten up. I feel like a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was definitely a lighter moment and it was fun. And like I say, hot guys, who's to complain, right?
Could use more of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Single available ones, though, please. Thank you.
Well, yeah, fair. Well, look, guys, look, if you made this far, well done. You get a badge of honor for sticking with us. And we hope that we've made you laugh, if nothing else. And maybe we've given you a new celebrity crush. So, hey, it's a win-win, right?
Yeah, you can have her celebrity crushes. Mine are mine. I'm sorry.
I'll share. It's fine. Let us know in the comments who your celebrity crush is. And maybe Jess and I can find a new one as well. And be like, who's that? Ooh, right? Love that going on. So let us know. But yeah, just thank you for watching. And thank you for supporting our crazy ass journey. You guys are the best. We love you. And we hope that you have the most fabulous